Hello, my name is Bill with Calasar Tech. This is the first video in our file system series. We're going to go over the Windows file systems, the Mac file systems, and the Linux file systems, including Android. With the Windows file system, we're going to go over the four most relevant file systems that they currently have: the FAT32, the NTFS, the EXFAT, and the REFS. So let's begin. FAT32 has been around for a very long time. It's been around since the days of Windows 95. Many of you will remember Windows 95. If you don't, I wish I were as young as you. The great thing about FAT32 is that it could support up to 255 characters, yet it was backward compatible with the 16-bit or before file systems that only had the 8.3 file format, and that is 8 characters for your file name, and then 3 characters for the extension, such as DOC for document or EXE for executable. With FAT32, journaling was not available, and the maximum volume size is limited by Windows 10 to 32 gigabytes, but it can get up to 16 terabytes if it's formatted correctly. But that doesn't really mean anything because Windows 10 limits it to 32 gigabytes. The maximum number of files for a FAT32 format is 268 million files. Actually, it's more than 268 million, but we're rounding. It doesn't have any kind of security, no encryption. So now you're wondering, who would use FAT32? Well, the great thing about FAT32 is that it's compatible with all versions of Windows, Macintosh, Linux, and it's great for USB devices or SD cards, especially if you have a mixed environment. So imagine this. You have a Mac, a PC, and maybe another PC laying around. And you have a file on your Mac that you want to take over to your PC. But you couldn't just format that with your Mac and take it over to your Windows PC. It'll look at it like, what the heck is this? So what you do is you format it for FAT32, you take it to your Mac, or you can format it with your Mac for FAT32 also, and then you put that file on that FAT32 disk, you take that SD card or USB device to your PC, you pull it off, and there you go. You can save a file from there, take it to your Mac. It's great. It's compatible with just about everything. And that's why it's still usable, because you can use it with so many different computers, such as Mac, Windows, and even Linux. Well, let's go on to one that's a little bit more restrictive, but way more modern, and that is NTFS. This is the file system that just about every single modern Windows computer uses. It supports 255 characters, just like the FAT32, but it supports journaling. And you might go, well, what's journaling? And no, it's not that thing you do before bed to have long-lasting memories, but it kind of works in the same way. Journaling, like writing down your memories, is a form of memory. So it logs everything that you're doing. So if something happens, you always have that log of what your previous action was, and this is great for if the system crashes or anything like that. The maximum volume size is 256 terabytes, which is limited by Windows 10 because it can actually go up to 16 exabytes. But for now, you don't need that 256 terabytes. I don't even know if I've seen drives in the wild that big. The big thing here, though, the maximum number of files. Look at that. We're talking more than 4 billion files. That's a lot of files. I don't think I've ever gotten near that. Maybe some people have, but I have not. NTFS does have great security. It's got permissions that you can lock it. If you want to know more about that, just click on the link below and it'll take you to my blog, which has a lot of information about NTFS. It supports encryption through BitLocker, which is great. And the major uses for this is basically it is for all Windows devices. If you have an internal drive, you are going to format it for NTFS. It is the best file system, the only file system that you'll have to choose from at this point in time. That may change down the road, but for right now, NTFS is it. Now let's move on to EXFAT. Microsoft released exFAT. It's kind of like an upgrade to FAT32. It has, it's more modern than FAT32. It has a 255 character length, which is normal. Its maximum volume size is 16 exabytes, but of course it's limited by Windows 10. Maximum number of files is nearly 3 million files. It doesn't have the security, it doesn't have the encryption that NTFS does, but exFAT was designed specifically for flash drives, so that means it makes great use of flash drives. You're not going to wear it out super quickly. It is designed for SD cards and any kind of flash memory, and that's really what it's there for. Now, we're going to move on to the one to REFS. REFS is not really in the wild yet. Now, I'm sure that some people do have it, but I've never seen it. Down the road, we may see it, but for now, unless you have a server or some sort of setup like that, you're not going to see it. If you just go into Best Buy and buy a laptop, you're not going to be able to find REFS. The maximum file length for REFS is 255 characters, once again limited by the operating system. It can support more than 32,000 characters, which is a lot. You can write your journal with that. Once again, it supports journaling. Its maximum volume size is astronomical, and it supports security, supports encryption, but it's really designed for servers, optimized for larger drives, but you can't boot from it and you can't put any apps on it. So at this point, it's just a large storage device, and that may change down the road, but for now, it's really just a server file system. But I figured I'd go over it because it is important. I want to thank you for watching this episode. Please leave a comment, please subscribe. I want to thank you for watching this video, and you have a wonderful day.